The movie begins by showing Knull, who is imprisoned on a planet called Clintar. It's revealed that this planet holds all of his children, known as symbiotes. Knull ruled over them and oppressed them harshly. Eventually, fed up with his cruelty, the symbiotes created a plan and imprisoned Knull, their own creator. Now Knull desperately wants to free himself from this prison, and to do so, he needs something called the Codex, created by the Venom symbiote and Eddie. The symbiotes are currently on Earth, where one of them is living inside Eddie like a parasite. Knull is determined to escape, and to achieve that, he devises a plan. He sends huge creatures called xenophages across the universe to help him locate the Codex. The scene shifts to Eddie, who's talking to someone in a bar, when suddenly a portal opens up behind him. It pulls him in, and he finds himself transported to another universe. Surprisingly, he's still on Earth in this new universe. But he learns that the whole world is searching for him and the Venom symbiote. Eddie and Venom decide to go to New York to blackmail a certain person who can help them get out of this situation. Before they can leave the city, Eddie and Venom notice some people capturing innocent dogs to take them to an illegal fighting competition. Concerned for the dogs' safety, Eddie and the Venom symbiote decide to fight these people. For Venom, it's easy to defeat them, and soon he has all the men under his control. In the end, Eddie and Venom free the dogs from the kidnapper's grip and are ready to head to New York. On the way, we see that the Venom symbiote has taken full control of Eddie's body. Because of this, the xenophages nearby are able to detect their location. This leads to a scene showing Area 51, an underground facility where a lady scientist who has kept many symbiotes imprisoned in her facility. These symbiotes had come to Earth years ago, along with the Venom symbiote. The lady scientist is accompanied by a soldier named Rex, who is there to study the symbiotes. Rex is curious about why these symbiotes came to Earth and what they actually want from the universe. The lady scientist explains to Rex that symbiotes live like parasites, bonding with other creatures. She's been searching for a creature with whom symbiotes can form a stable relationship, but so far she hasn't succeeded. Just then, the scientist receives news that they have found a person who already has a strong bond with a symbiote. However, this person isn't cooperating and isn't sharing much information about the symbiotes. They find out that this person isn't willing to talk because the symbiote he once bonded with left him to die. The scientist gives him another symbiote to bond with, hoping this new relationship will yield insights. She also explains to him that all symbiotes are the children of a being named Knull, who once wanted to destroy all symbiotes because of his cruelty. But the symbiotes rebelled, imprisoned Knull, and freed themselves. Now Knull wants to escape from his prison, for which he needs the Codex. The Codex is like the key to his prison, created by one of the symbiotes that came with Eddie. But none of the symbiotes here has the Codex. That's why Knull has sent many xenophages to Earth to retrieve it. Meanwhile, we know that the Codex is actually with Eddie and the Venom symbiote. The scene returns to Eddie, where Venom has taken full control of Eddie's body. This full takeover alerts a xenophage to their location. As the xenophage approaches them to retrieve the Codex, we get an intense action shot of Eddie and Venom facing off against the xenophage on top of a plane. The fight doesn't last long, as the xenophage gets caught in the plane's engine and dies. This incident makes Venom realize that whenever he takes full control of Eddie's body, a xenophage tracks them. From this point on, Venom avoids fully controlling Eddie and even warns Eddie about this. After explaining, Venom lets go of Eddie, pushing him off the plane, and transforms into a parachute to save him. Eddie, who is still confused about who attacked them and why, asks Venom for answers. Venom explains that the creature was a xenophage sent by Knull. Knull wants the Codex, which Eddie and Venom had created together, as it's the key to his prison. Venom also tells Eddie that if either of them dies, the Codex will be destroyed. Eddie is confused because he doesn't remember creating the Codex. Venom then tells him the story of how they created it long ago. At this point, Rex and his soldiers are still on the hunt for a symbiote that is bonded with a human. They want to communicate with it to understand the symbiote's true purpose on Earth. Eddie, though not very powerful on his own, tries his best to avoid these soldiers. In a struggle, he accidentally kills one of the soldiers while defending himself. Eddie's real strength has always been his symbiote, but now the symbiote can't fully The scene continues with Venom trying to keep Eddie safe. To save Eddie from the water, Venom had to fully control Eddie's body, which allowed multiple xenophages to track them. Realizing the danger, Venom quickly releases Eddie's body as soon as they emerge from the water, making them invisible to the xenophages once again. At this moment, a family in a pickup truck sees Eddie stranded and offers him a ride. They mention they're on their way to Area 51 to see the aliens, unaware that Eddie is part of the alien chaos they're seeking. Eddie, exhausted and even missing shoes, gladly accepts the ride and some food from the family. They drop him off near Las Vegas, allowing him to continue his journey. Just as Eddie starts feeling a bit safer, things take a turn. Rex and his team spot Eddie in Las Vegas. Rex, who missed capturing Eddie the last time and lost several soldiers, is determined to make up for it. With his soldiers, he captures Eddie and takes him to a facility where he's being held with another person who has bonded with a symbiote. This fellow captive explains to Eddie that Knull, the king of all symbiotes, is desperately searching for Eddie and Venom because he needs the codex to escape his prison. Eddie already knew Knull was after him, but this confirms the seriousness of the threat. Rex, now in full control of the facility, is pleased that he has finally captured Eddie and the Venom symbiote, believing he can gain valuable information from them. He dismisses the scientist from the facility, taking matters into his own hands. His plan is to exact revenge on Eddie for the losses he suffered in their last encounter. He even attempts to shoot Eddie, but Eddie's luck holds out as Venom returns just in time to save him. The question remains, how did Venom escape when he was already captured? It turns out that Venom had anticipated Rex would harm Eddie. So before Rex could remove the scientist from the facility, Venom formed a bond with her, using her help to break out and reunite with Eddie. Venom takes control over Eddie, which again alerts the xenophages to their location, and they quickly converge on the scene. Just then, another lesser symbiote in the facility, who understands the threat, warns Venom that these xenophages are indeed working for Knull. The xenophages are there to retrieve the codex, which Knull needs to escape. This lesser symbiote, realizing the severity of the situation, fights the xenophages to buy Venom and Eddie time to escape. He tells Venom, "Run, and whatever happens, never let Knull get the codex. Don't ever free him." Venom knows that the xenophages will stop at nothing and may even harm innocent humans while searching for him. Understanding this, Venom suggests to the scientists that they should release all the symbiotes they have contained in the facility, allowing them to bond with the people present and protect them from the xenophages. The scientist agrees, hoping that these bonds will help the symbiotes defend against the xenophages and prevent Knull's agents from reaching the codex. The scene builds tension as the symbiotes are released and the humans in the facility begin bonding with them, turning the lab into a battlefield against the invading xenophages. Eddie and Venom, meanwhile, seize the opportunity to escape into the chaos, determined to keep the codex safe and prevent Knull from ever breaking free. The scientists release the symbiotes, and without wasting any time, they bond with several humans, leading to an explosive battle. Meanwhile, the family that had given Eddie a lift earlier arrives on the scene. They had told Eddie that they were going to Area 51 to see aliens, but they had no idea they would end up seeing so many aliens in action. Seeing this intense fight between the aliens, they are completely terrified, especially since the xenophage creatures are brutally overpowering the symbiotes. Seeing this, Venom joins the fight to protect the symbiotes. But when he realizes that even more xenophages are arriving, and they're endangering both the symbiotes and human lives, he makes a difficult and deeply emotional decision. Venom tells Eddie, "There's only one way to stop these xenophages. One of us has to die. If that happens, the codex will be destroyed, and they will leave this world." This was a harsh truth for Eddie, and he couldn't bring himself to make this decision. But Venom couldn't wait, as the xenophages they had defeated were already beginning to regenerate. To save everyone and control the situation, Venom assumes a larger form, wrapping all the xenophages within himself, and moves toward a machine designed to destroy aliens at high temperatures. Venom tells Rex to activate the machine once he's inside with the xenophages. As soon as Venom and the xenophages enter the machine, Rex activates it, causing a massive explosion. The xenophages, along with Venom, perish in the blast. Many people, including Eddie, lose consciousness due to the shockwave. When Eddie regains consciousness, he learns that his dear Venom symbiote didn't survive. This news leaves him heartbroken. He finds no comfort, even though all the charges against him have been dropped, and he can now live a normal life in this world. The scene cuts to the final moments of the movie, showing an enraged Knull. With his codex destroyed and his chances of escaping severely diminished, his thirst for revenge intensifies. What he will do next remains a suspenseful mystery as the story ends here.